Hey everyone, welcome to Zealots. I'm Forrest.
I'm Major.
I'm Robbie.
And I'm Commando.
So today we're going to talk about the first episode of Loki, and I think later on we're going to talk about the Bad Batch. I think episodes 6 and 7, or whichever we have time for. So let's dive into Loki. This is basically picks up right after the takes place when we last saw Loki in Endgame, and basically he just ran off the Tesseract and he got intercepted by the TVA. So I guess
I like how they picked it up right there.
Yeah, so this is not the Loki we saw in Ragnarok, Dark World, or Infinity War. This is like the Loki from the Avengers, who's not quite reformed, but I don't know. By the end of the episode, he seemed pretty reformed. So
yeah, they really took a shortcut with those home videos.
Yeah, let's go around. So overall thoughts, everyone like this for the most part?
Loved it.
I'm loving it.
I'd rather watch this one episode over and over again than watch WandaVision or, heaven forbid, Wing Boy and Soldier Man.
I'd watch WandaVision again over, Wing Boy.
It's just like WandaVision.
I didn't mind WandaVision.
I liked WandaVision. I just think this is way better.
Oh, yeah.
This is definitely way better already.
Everyone just thought Mephisto was going to be in WandaVision and Reed Richards, and when that didn't happen, people were pissed off.
Yeah, I guess that was where a lot of the excitement was coming from, was everybody was wondering what was going to happen. But then when it came out, everybody was like, oh, cool.
Okay. But, I mean, I thought the hard was a good tease, but...
Oh, there's Tip.
Yeah.
Well, I knew we'd pop in eventually.
I had to rejoin.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Mephisto, everyone thought the stained glass window with the devil was a nod to Mephisto, and the showrunner immediately week shut that down.
Don't you fucking do that to my show. Don't you ruin it with your speculation.
Well, I'm sure Feige was just like, we had so much blowback from Mephisto not being in WandaVision. Let's just go ahead and clear the air right now. Because I guess I understand WandaVision, like, you can't deny anything, because once you deny something, that means people just jump on the next rumor, and they'll have to deny that. And if they don't deny it, that means it's going to happen. So, but I think in this case, it was just like, there's no Mephisto. Don't even speculate like that, But
stop doing this to us.
Yeah. So, but yeah, what did you think, Tip?
I had a good impression. It's kind of funny. The discovery of the higher order of the universe kind of makes all of the past exploits seem like, oh, well, I mean, were the superheroes actually in control, or is this just how the timeline
in their time?
And one funny thing. Here's the funny thing about the sacred timeline, is it's like, the comic book writers, the writers themselves, are kind of like making themselves into a character. So Marvel as an entity itself is inserting itself into its own universe as the keepers of the timeline. And it's kind of like
You're talking about like the Watcher or the one above all?
The timekeepers, like, that's
just the
they're kind of like the editors and the illustrators, and the people who actually make
the timekeepers are like Feige, whoever the showrunner is, and the other guy, the president of Disney, Bob Iger. So they're the timekeepers.
Exactly. So it's kind of funny, like, oh, none of the characters are in any kind of control. They're just like, pawns in the game of life. These gods are just pawns. So it changes the whole perspective for me on those characters.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was interesting, and I'm not sure if I agree with the show on this, but when Loki was standing trial, he said, like, why am I here? The Avengers should be on trial. They're the ones that fucked with time, and that's kind of like what you're supposed to police against. And she was like, oh, no, they were supposed to go in time and create multiple timelines, which is basically
timeline. Did they create multiple timelines?
Yeah, because
they brought the Infinity Stones back.
Yeah, but remember, like, I don't know, was it Bruce explained to the Ancient One, like, we'll create a separate timeline where, we have the Infinity Stones.
But if they go back in time to the exact point where they took it.
Your timeline will stay the same because I'm going to bring this Infinity Stone right back, so your timeline will be fine. But
right,
there's still a separate timeline where, I don't know, it's interesting. Did Steve really do all those things in Civil War and Winter Soldier and still grow old? So basically, they were like two Captain Americas at the same time.
That's a little iffy.
All the
Yeah, because
birds.
was he like? Because apparently, if he went back to 1940 or whatever, and then like grew old, he should have been alive during the events of the Avengers when he came back during Winter Soldier and Civil War and Infinity War and Endgame. So he should have been like alive for all those, or his I guess Steve Rogers Prime should have been around during all those events. So it's interesting to think about. But yeah, do y'all think Loki had a point? About the
Yeah,
Avengers?
I mean, I saw where he was coming from.
I would say no,
Like in the
because the Avengers needed to happen. Like,
yeah. Otherwise,
I
like,
think all the snaps are going to like bring in mutants. So like Thanos had to like gather all the Infinity Stones, and the Avengers had to like go back in time. Like that was all planned. What wasn't planned was Loki
show
grabbing the
being good.
Tesseract and leaving.
and you know what caused it all? Because they didn't let Hulk in the elevator.
Nor would you. That's a safety hazard. 10 out of 10
Yeah, the
times.
elevator would have just dropped it. Because like, yeah, it started like Hulk knocked. What did he? He knocked something out of the way that knocked the Infinity Stone out of his hand from the briefcase, something like that.
Well, what's stupid about that was like, why is he still Hulk? The battle's over. Like he can turn back the banner. Like there's no
Really?
like danger going on.
What,
I don't know if he can willingly do it that well.
Not at that point in time. Yeah. Remember, because that was when sun's getting real deep or something. Sun's getting real low. They had to calm him down. So I don't think he was that controlled yet.
Oh, well, okay. So what else happened? So he got captured by the Time Hunters or the Hunters, whatever.
TVA.
And when they like hit him, it's like slow motion, but she's in
excellent.
regular time.
Oh yeah, that was great.
His lips
and
are
then
just blown.
he comes in like normal speed. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then his lips just kept flapping. I was like, should it really do it like that?
So
actually, Tim Middleston, I love, or Tom Hiddleston, phenomenal actor. But he was on one of the late night shows, and he was talking about how to do that. And with like the fancy phones we have today, with like the iPhone or the Samsung, you can do like super slow motion, so you can actually like make your lips do that yourself, like blowing a raspberry or whatever. So yeah, like that was
my phone.
That was really good.
Pretty cool. All right, so apparently he gets captured by TVA, and apparently there are other variants. Apparently variants can be like anyone, because there was a scroll there, and there was like just a guy who was like a banker for Goldman Sachs, who apparently did something that deviated from the timeline. And I'm wondering, like, there's a scroll there. I'm wondering if the scroll sees the TVA as other scrolls. The same way, maybe like the TVA appears as human to Loki. I wonder if scrolls see other scrolls.
You see
through his
like
eyes.
The most common, or like what your brain is like most comfortable with.
Yeah, because like
that's a good
the TVA aren't human. They're just constructs or like beings created to police the timeline. I don't think they're like human. They just look human if you are human, and vice versa, whatever race you are.
But scrolls can change shapes, so I think if anything, if there was one species who could look at the TVA as humans, I think it'd probably be the scroll, besides humans themselves.
Yeah, I read an article saying like the men were good, but the women in this show really shine. I'm just like, I don't really think they had a lot to do to like make them stand out. I mean, I'm sure I think like the judge Renslayer was only had like one scene.
I thought she was great. I didn't see any division of sexes or whatever. I just thought like the casting and the overall acting was phenomenal. It was wow.
Well, I mean, she just she only had like one scene, so like I didn't think she should really leave an impression. She's like a judge, and all she did was ask if she's guilty or not, if he's guilty or not guilty, and if I think she was going to sentence him to death. And then like Mobius comes in, and that's it for her
to be reset.
And then I guess like the other female character was the hunter, and she was basically just like a standard, jail guard.
I recognized her though from something, that's for sure. Can't tell you where she's from, but I definitely.
I didn't recognize any of the actresses, but
I really liked her.
That Loki like slapped that neck brace on.
The necklace on, yeah.
But yeah, the standouts were definitely Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston. So I mean, I don't know why they said the two female characters stood out, but I don't know. I'm sure they'll do more.
It's called clickbait, Forrest, and it worked. You read the
worked
article.
on me. Yeah. I just read the title. I'm just like, no. But yeah, they definitely worked on some people.
Oh,
But I think the judge.
nowadays they try to bring those types of subjects into everything now.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the judge is going to be like the main villain secretly because you know, in the comics she's like the bride of Kang, who's like the big time traveler bad guy of the Avengers, and I think they're teasing him in this show at some point. So,
Well, he's going to be in the Multiverse of Madness, so it would make sense to set up something here.
well, he's going to be an Ant-Man and the Wasp. I don't know if he's going to be in Doctor Strange.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Ant-Man and the Wasp. That's it.
So I don't know if I think hopefully they're just going to introduce him like they did Thanos in Guardians of the Galaxy. But the point is like she has a history with him, and I'm wondering if they're like in cahoots or if it's sort of like a Thanos' death thing where he wants her but she doesn't want him. So
You think with Owen Wilson's character, what is his name in the show?
Mobius.
Yeah,
No, Mobius.
That the scar on his nose has anything to do with anything, or is it just like?
I think that's just. I think Owen Wilson just had his nose broken 3 times, and that's why it's so misshapen.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that. That's correct.
Something to do with something there.
Yeah.
I
So
like
guess-
the keen eye. I didn't even notice anything. I just stopped looking at Owen
Oh
Wilson's
yeah, he's
nose
got a
like
big
after
old
Wedding
scratch on
Crasher.
his nose.
Yeah. Okay. I guess like
On his character in there.
the big reveal at the end was like there's another Loki out there causing trouble.
At least one.
At least one. So do you
And
think
that
it's
was
like?
definitely a chick, right? Like you guys all got that feeling? Like
Yeah, I think
the hooded character, that was definitely a girl.
They casted a female, and there was like set photos of her wearing, I think, like a hoodie, but also like a costume similar to Loki's. So I guess like Lady Loki is the one who burned those TVA people, but I think there's gonna be like an older version. I think we cast Richard E. Grant as well, so he might like be like
Old Loki.
the old Loki. Yeah, they'll probably like
Yeah.
a kid Loki.
I mean, if you want to talk about foreshadowing, there's a scene when Loki was talking to Mobius, and he said the only person you can trust is yourself. And I was like, "Ooh, a team of Loki. That'd be fun."
Oh, sorry. That stuff with Owen Wilson. I guess I don't know him that well because that's just him, isn't it? With his like messed
With
up
his nose. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
broken like
I googled him and like, oh wait, that's just him, not his character.
yeah. Wow.
Whoops.
But
what
he
about
was
a baby Loki? Is there? Do you guys think there might be a baby Loki? Like murders everyone
Loki.
in this little
Loki.
preschool?
I mean, there was a baby Groot, so they're gonna like gotta sell those toys. So what if there's like a scroll Loki?
Quite
Yeah.
possibly. You saw in the post-credit scene, it showed that Loki's gender was fluid. So
Well, just because there's different versions of him, But in the
Right.
comics, he did turn when he came back after Ragnarok. He became a woman, but he
Oh,
turned
really?
back. But he turned back into a man, and he was like, "This is who I really am." And I was like, "Ooh,
fan backlash.
yeah." Well, this was like in 07, so it was before all the PC wasn't
So
that
fan
bad.
backlash.
Wasn't that? Oh yeah. Well, no. He was a man. He said, "This is who I truly am."
Right, but like they brought him back as a woman and then they switched into a man. Usually when they make changes like that and then change it back to the original, it's because of fan backlash.
Oh yeah. I think a lot of it was also he was just, I guess, trying to like put Thor off when he came back, because when they die in Ragnarok, they're reincarnated in different bodies. So I guess I like that idea where he came back as a woman, but in this day and age with like the transgenderism and all that stuff, and you gotta be very delicate with this stuff. I think we'll just do like he's just a Loki. It's like she's just a Loki from a different universe. He's not like going back and forth from boy to girl.
Yeah, I was wondering if there was a multiverse and then a big multiverse war and then the time the 3 time gods or whatever, lizardmen, created the sacred timeline. Like, where are all these variants coming from then?
Well, I think a lot of people online were just like, well, if there's only one sacred timeline, does that mean there's not a multiverse?
Right?
And
Like, that's what I'm wondering.
Maybe the TVA doesn't. Maybe this is only one. There's a TVA for each universe, and they only think that there's one universe, but there's really several TVAs. So we might get multiple Mobiuses and multiple Owen Wilsons, like a female Owen Wilson. Wow.
I hope it's Vince Vaughn. Not as female Owen Wilson, but
No.
that'd be funny if Vince Vaughn did
No.
guest appeared.
Susan Sarandon should be female Owen Wilson because of the nose.
What do you guys think about
There we
all
go.
the Infinity Stones that they had as
that
paperweights?
was funny.
Yeah, I
There's a lot of
noticed the
jokes about
soul,
that.
the green. I didn't see any. Were there any? I don't know. I guess they had all the colors, but
They had all
so
of
they
them but a
just-
Mind Stone. I didn't see
Yeah,
any
they
orange
just-
stones,
They just
Yeah.
don't do anything there.
which makes
It was-
sense because they don't work outside of their universe.
no. It was a cool little visual, and it was really just showed like how powerful the TVA is, and like basically
Right.
he was just like holy shit. But
Loki
to be
was
fair,
like, "Oh, I am over my head here. These
Yeah,
guys
just
don't even
holding a
care about
cube.
the most powerful objects that I thought existed in the universe."
It's funny how the cube still glows and stuff, though.
well, it's a dimmer glow, so it has
Yeah.
a little bit of power. But I thought he did manage to best that hunter chick at the end, and like he's basically just making her go back and forth. He's like, stop it.
Just gotta fight them with their own technology.
Yeah, I guess yeah. So he was smart. So he is capable a
Because
little
I
bit.
mean, look at the tech they got there now.
So like they can't
like
like
that.
have him be a prisoner the whole show.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love how
what's
they
up
have
with the 50s style monitors?
the typewriters, and then they have flying cars
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, they got like a, I guess I could think of
Very
like a
anachronistic.
Bioshock.
I think it is very Bioshock. Good call out, Rob. That's a really good point. I do like the blend of like the modern and the old, and then I think you saw like Mobius drinking like an energy drink from the '90s by Pepsi.
Oh,
they're
yeah. I
they're
was
just
like,
all
it
over
was
the
like-
place.
I was like, is that like
Future
a
and-
soda in the Marvel universe, or is that like in the comics, or is that like an actual soda? But
Yeah, I had to
like,
look it up. I think it's like the
I didn't-
first energy drink
I didn't
that
pay
was
attention to that.
commercially available.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. It's just I don't have my glasses back yet, so I can't really read some of that stuff well.
Wait, was it Surge?
No, it was like a red one that was like started with a K, I think. Probably look it up.
I miss
Definitely
Volt.
need to rewatch it when I get my glasses.
Vault
back.
was Surge. They just repackaged it, rebranded
Well, I miss the OG Volt.
it. Surge, dude. Yeah, I remember I brought Surge to Miss Doggett's class, and I think they said don't bring any caffeinated drinks. I'm like, oh,
I brought
Told you
the
there.
most caffeinated drink.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Doggett was in second grade, right?
yep.
What were you doing in the energy drink in the second grade?
Well, they didn't have energy drinks back then. They just had Surge.
What were we doing with a high-powered soda like that?
I don't know. It was just delicious. Well, I think the commercials got me. I like the color too. It's basically like
I
Mountain
blame the
Dew.
parents.
Yeah. Which is soda. Oh, listen.
You might as well call it ulcer.
Oh, he's
'Cause that's
drinking.
what you're gonna get when you drink. Man, I'm drinking ulcer. Man, this stuff is great.
Not when you're a 7-year-old. You can intake as much sugar as you want. Okay, he's drinking a Josta soda. It was from the 90s. Yeah, it was sold between
Josta.
1995 and 1999. I guess. Yeah. Josta Cola was
Just a cola.
no Josta Josta.
What do we gotta call this? That's just a cola.
So, do y'all think Mobius is going to let Loki live since he's a variant and they got to kill all variants?
Yeah, I think he needs. We're going to see a team up.
I mean, like at the end of the show, do you
Oh.
think he'll still be around?
I think he's going to be part of the TVA. I don't know, because like he said in the first episode, like you can't go back to your old timeline. So
Looking at
Maybe they
the
take
trailer, it seems like they're heading that way. That they're kind of getting him to work for him to hunt himself down.
Wait, time out, guys. Remember the scene where Loki sees his death? We have to take that into consideration because at some point,
Oh,
Loki
yeah, 'cause this-
mysteriously pops back in.
Yeah, this Loki from this timeline, that hasn't happened to him yet. So
Yeah,
That kind of hit
Thanos
him.
needs to crush his throat.
But I don't know. Yeah, he didn't die. He didn't see his mother die. He didn't have any of that happen to this version of Loki yet.
And he kind of just it was like
So
all
that was kind of an interesting.
it cuts
scene
away, and
there.
you just hear like a neck crack.
And he just fast forwards to well, how am I gonna die? Having that
Right.
ability.
I got killed by Grimace. I guess I stole some McDonald's burgers or whatever. But he should know who Thanos is. I guess he already met Thanos.
Yeah,
by
they
this
partnered
time.
up
yeah.
together. That's who gave him the staff
Yep.
for to attack New York in
I
the
don't know
first
if he
Avengers.
got it from him directly though, but I think he knew who Thanos was. I can't really
Okay.
remember.
Well, you
They
think he
might have been
dealt with
friends on
evil book,
superhero Facebook or
villain book.
Villain.
villain book.
Oh, Loki says this place is a nightmare. Nightmare confirmed, obviously.
Right? No, that's a different department.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I don't know.
That department I'll have be burned down. I really liked Owen Wilson's character. I thought.
Oh
it
yeah,
was-
me
it was
too.
He wasn't as funny as I thought
like
he'd be.
his
He definitely
character.
played it pretty straight.
I'm glad they he pulled
I
some
was
punches.
surprised because I've never
on
really
the
seen
humor.
him do like a dramatic. No, this wasn't that dramatic, but it was like a more serious character. I just know him from
I like what
Zoolander.
they're doing with him. Yeah, he is in like mainly comedies and stuff.
I just know he's the voice of the red car in the Cars car thing.
Oh, that's him.
Yeah,
Wait, are you talking about Lightning McQueen?
yeah, he voices Lightning McQueen.
Oh,
Oh,
nice. I had no idea.
I've only
Yeah.
seen that movie like once or twice.
Let's get Commando to chime in. What do you think, Soldier? Are you even on?
I think I'm playing Rocket League.
Yeah, I'm doing both.
What did you think of the Loki show?
I mean, I've just been listening to what y'all been saying. It's been real. I mean, I really enjoyed it.
Our
I
first
thought
listener on the
that-
podcast.
I thought that one of the really sad parts was, how the juxtaposition between how Owen Wilson talks about how much Loki is like and then Loki finally escapes only to go back and see his death, and then he just sits there on the ground, and he's like, "There's no point in escaping because eventually you can't escape fate." And
Right,
he
like
found
even
out
if I
that
leave
his
here.
fate was to die at the hands of Thanos.
Yeah.
Yeah, so why not just see where this goes with the TVA?
Yeah, exactly.
Why not?
What was I going to say? Do y'all think? Oh, what did you think of the DB Cooper scene?
Excellent. Loved it. Loved every second of it. It was incredibly historically accurate, based on eyewitness accounts.
Not really, because it was raining and it was nighttime when he jumped out of the plane. Because people were just like, "There's no
What are
way
you
he could survive
referring
that." DB Cooper.
The airplane
Rob-
scene. I was more so thinking about the letter when he hands it to the airline stewardess. I mean, they cut for
Oh.
time because she came back a second time and he was like, "You should look at that letter. I have a bomb." But I thought the dialogue overall was pretty good.
And then he ordered a drink afterward, which I don't think he did in the show. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's my only issue. I bet it seemed pretty.
I didn't really
they got the
follow
main
the
just
thing.
DB Cooper. No one knew who
Yeah.
he was.
I mean,
he
you
robbed
can't
a plane.
shoot that at night. That's
A
gonna
lot of
be
that money. I was kind of disappointed. I thought it would actually there was a reason to do it in the show. It wouldn't have been part of the plot, but it was just a flashback and he lost a bet to Thor. So it was just a fun little thing to do. It didn't really have anything to do with the plot though.
right.
Oh, it would have been interesting if they weaved it in. I got to get this bag of money for this or that. But it's kind of interesting. Loki was Loki and Thor messing with humans.
Yeah,
throughout the
that's such a
60s.
weird bet. Rob America and then disappear. That was.
It's kind of interesting. How many times did Loki and Thor visit Midgard? Obviously they went during Norse times, or they went to Scandinavia. But it was kind of interesting. They've just been going on and off during throughout time. But
Yeah, I do hope they do a couple more of those with other great mysteries of the world. But I don't know how they're going to shoehorn that in at this point. That was.
I know they're going
kind
to
of
do
it.
Pompeii because that was in the trailer.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe they'll catch a serial killer. Maybe he'll catch a Zodiac killer.
Maybe he is the Zodiac killer.
Bum bum bum. That'd be too dark for the show.
That's true.
DB Cooper is fine. All he did was rob a plane, but you can't have someone going tying up co-eds and literally stabbing them to death. That's a
Whoa!
bit much.
Spoiler alert! I haven't seen the movie yet.
It wasn't a movie. It happened in real life.
I know, but it's also a movie. But yeah,
I'm just
It
not
happened on
familiar with all of
Wikipedia,
it. That's
man.
why I didn't really follow what the hell was going on in that scene.
Well, it's interesting because off topic here, but the Batman, the Riddler, is basically based off the Zodiac killer because he's wearing a executioner's hood. He's leaving cryptograms and stuff to the police. So Like I think the Riddler is very much based off Zodiac, the Batman. So whenever that movie comes out, like next year. So
Are you talking about the Batman? Yeah, that should
yeah.
be good.
Maybe there's some other mysteries. I guess maybe he'll run into Amelia Earhart at some point.
We'll just have to watch and find out. Does anyone know how many episodes this is? Is this
I think
a six? 6, right?
He finds Charles Lindbergh's dead baby.
Worst.
Oh,
You're the worst.
Line crossed.
Yeah.
Well, that's where
maybe he saves Charles Lindbergh's baby and takes it to Asgard, and he becomes like a soldier who then gets killed. So
he grows up to be Matt Damon, who later on axes him
Yeah.
in Ragnarok.
Matt Damon is Charles Lindbergh's baby, confirmed.
Clickbait title. There we go.
So what do you predictions for what's gonna happen next time?
I'm gonna love every second of it and watch it probably 2 or 3 times.
I think they're gonna go back in time. Just call me crazy, but I think they're gonna go back in time.
Real fast before we get into predictions, let's talk about going back in time. Like at some point in the show, they talk about like, hey, we lost like our 6th team. But like if you guys are in charge of time and time travel, and just go back before you die and grab them, right? Like, Am I missing the obvious here?
If you know they died at that point in time, just go back to that time and like ambush the guy who's about to ambush them. See, that's what happens when you do time travel. You always write yourself in a corner.
You can't write time travel correct. Like that's why Rick and Morty stay away from it. It's too much.
Yeah, wait, time out. Oh wait. Yeah, time out. If you're traveling back in time and time is linear, then how would you reach, places further back in time? You'd have to you have a starting point, right?
You're basically creating a new timeline that's different.
So time must be circular in order to reach.
I don't know. I think it's very confusing.
I mean, you can walk.
It all does
There's
get
always
confusing.
What tip? You can walk back and
different
forth on
ways
a
of
line.
looking at it.
Yeah, it's like we can't find this guy. I'm just like, just go back before he killed those guys.
Yeah, and watch them and find it and ambush them. It doesn't seem that difficult.
Yeah, but I don't know. They gotta like make the plot happen. So yeah. I mean,
it's time travel. I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I think
I just find it interesting how they'll end up handling it.
Yeah, it is interesting like how they know what's approved and what's disapproved, and like he says like it's basically whatever timekeepers say, and
I dictate the dictation.
Let's move on to Bad Batch, I guess. I guess we might see Lady Loki next week. We'll just see. Only 5 episodes left. Probably get more into Renslayer. Maybe we'll tease her connections to Kang. Hopefully. But yeah, Bad Batch. I think the last episode, Wrecker broke bad, and his ship.
Good soldiers follow orders.
Yeah, they start bringing that back. Totally saw that coming when they kept bringing back his headache.
Yeah, because last episode, like nothing happened.
I can't believe none of them that crossed any of their minds when that's kind of what's going on.
It's kind of like Tech was just like, we already lost Crosshair, but we still have our inhibitor chips. We're still good. And it's like Rex was like, don't you think you should get rid of him? He's like, it's fine. It'll be fine. I was
you're right. We probably should take that out.
Yeah, it was like, I think Tech was sort of like, oh yeah, good idea. So they brought back Rex, who's like a big character from Clone Wars. Do you think he's gonna stay with the team?
No, I think they're gonna. Yeah, he's gonna show up one more time in this season with Ahsoka, I believe, because that's who he's probably hanging out with now. That and we've seen from Rogue, Star Wars Rogue, not
Rogue
One.
What's the one with Ezra Bridger?
Oh, Rebels.
Rebels, thank you. And Star Wars Rebels, we see Rex with Commander Cody and another guy.
Okay.
What were you saying, Rob?
Maybe they'll knock out Crosshair and do the same thing they did to Wrecker. Just
well, I think what's going to happen is they're going to take out Crosshair's chip, and he's still going to be evil. I think
dun.
Yeah, he was always evil.
Yeah, he didn't seem like that great a guy before Order 66 went down in the first episode.
I think they said his inhibitor chip. I think he already wanted to serve the Empire, regardless. That was his free will. He wanted to serve the Empire, but his inhibitor chip sort of made it appear like he wasn't in charge of his actions. But I think
I
they're
don't
gonna
think they had to turn it up that much.
Yeah, I think they're gonna like kidnap him, and he's still gonna be a bad guy. So
I don't know.
Uh,
I like the idea, but you have to remember it's a Disney Star Wars show, so
But
they're
you
probably
still
going to
have
have
villains,
redemption. Yeah,
and like in
but
this universe, Darth Vader still killed those kids. You know, that's still
that's
canon.
true. But he didn't do it in a kids TV show. That's the only difference. Like if this was like a movie, then I would 100%
Well, they did
agree with that.
massacre those unarmed civilians on that planet that episode, so you know, they showed it off screen. But you know,
Oh, that's
Yeah, what
true.
about
I thought that was a
that
little
car
dark.
chase scene where they definitely killed some people in that episode.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
you
they-
didn't see anyone die.
They
They
fell
showed it
like
off screen.
who knows how high up in the air. So they're pretty
mean,
much dead.
it didn't show Joker cutting up that guy's face, but it happened in the movie. You know, just like they showed it off screen, but that
Oh.
guy's reaction.
I didn't realize Joker was owned by Disney.
Well, it's like they can show like violent. They can imply violent things. They just can't show it. That's the point.
That's why they're always fighting droids.
Yeah. So anyway, at least this episode
Clankers.
something happened. Last
Yes,
episode,
I agree.
basically nothing happened except Wrecker was starting to, his hyperchip was starting to kick in more. But like I think that last episode was like I was bored out of my mind, honestly.
Yeah, I tried rewatching it today for the podcast and just was on my phone the whole time.
Yes, I mean, there's like, I think they really should just like make this season like 8 episodes because I think there's only like 8 episodes of actual plot or actual
Right.
Oh, really?
story,
There's only one left.
and the rest is just filler.
No, that's how much he thinks. There's 16 episodes, if I remember correctly.
Damn.
He's saying that there should be only 8 because that's about 8
Well,
episodes
I'm
worth of
thinking-
content.
Yeah, I think only 8 episodes in the season are actually going to be like story, but the rest are just like filler.
Yeah, all the
But-
filler episode is like, all right, what are you gonna get us to go hunt for this time?
Yeah, but at least there's like they're adding like continuity, like that green thing, Sid. That's like their base now, and they just do jobs for her.
Right. In the episode before last, there were those 2 girls who showed up on the last season of Clone Wars, which I hated that arc. I thought it was terrible. But I know you're watching the Clone Wars 4. So in the last season, there's like an Ahsoka arc with
I
these
didn't
2
watch
annoying girls, and that's those 2 girls. So it was a little bit of a callback, a little bit of a fan service for anyone who liked those 2 characters, which, if I remember the online articles, was no one.
It's Star Wars. There's got to be a fan of those characters. Probably like
Everyone's someone everywhere.
Yeah.
Somebody
so-
likes Jar Jar Binks, although
Probably-
nobody
probably-
likes that someone.
Probably the actor who plays him is the only,
You
is the
still
only one
like
who
Jar Jar Binks.
Well, did y'all watch the 2D series yet?
The Clone Wars?
Yeah.
No, I have
So
not.
good.
I said I was going to get off and watch it, and then life happened,
It's
chores
only
or
like
something.
2 hours, because it's like Microsoft is all bundled together. So, yeah, it's so good. It's basically well, we already talked about this, but yeah, watch it. It's good. Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Remember Ben Stiller and
Hey,
Sorry,
you guys,
Scotch,
speaking
do
of
Oh, I was doing
dude.
Star Wars. I was doing Emperor
Yeah, that's what I
Palpatine.
was thinking of.
I was doing Ben Stiller from Starsky and Hutch. Do it.
This is all
Do
about
it.
Star
Okay.
Wars,
Do
and
it.
you're not gonna think of that.
Star Warsky and Hutch. It has
All
own
right,
listening.
there we go. Wow, that was a good.
Oh my
segueing
God.
from the word star. You guys got my text about that Star Lord thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
actually pretty entertaining.
Did you text
It's a
me back?
podcast. I found it on. I don't know.
You found it on what?
Sorry about that. It was on like a Sirius XM. I have that service.
Oh,
Oh.
wow. You're still paying for that?
Hell yeah! It was $5 a month. It was
Oh, they've
$5
had.
a month.
They've definitely had like it was like probably like 200 for the year. Maybe not even that. Like 300 for the year when I had it like in high school, and now like no one has it anymore. And they're just like, $5 a month.
Right? Yeah. I mean, like,
Well, it was a promotional offer.
Yeah.
You know, so
Well,
yeah. Anyway, it's worth it because on the drive to work, I can.
Okay.
They have podcasts, and it's
like Marvel universe, I guess, but it's Star Lord. He comes back with the raccoon rocket, and they're like old. So 30 years have elapsed, and they come back to Earth for like a mission.
I mean,
And
think
it's
about
kind of
it.
interesting.
If you travel out in space and then come back, thousands of years will have passed on Earth. that's what Einstein said. Relativity and all that. So
I mean,
30 years
it depends
for them,
on your distance in space. Because Jeff Bezos is going out to space like next week, and he'll be back.
I think
this
if you go
millennia.
like 1 light year out and then come back, like 1,000,000 years will have passed on Earth. So you can travel forward in time, you just can't travel back in time, scientifically. So we got some time left. How about we talk about the Eternals trailer? I think that came out like last time we did an episode. Did y'all watch that?
Yeah, I'm hyped for it.
I'm just sort of like, we'll just see. I mean, I sort of like, I get like the 2001 Space Odyssey sort of vibe they're going for. Like they sort of came to Earth like during prehistoric times and like sort of helped with mankind's evolution, or at least their technological development. So that aspect's sort of interesting, but it's still a teaser trailer. They didn't reveal a lot, but it didn't really entice me. And this is basically like, I think the only reason they're doing this movie is because they already fucked up Inhumans. So they were just like, all right, we need like another team. And this probably isn't like one of Kirby's best works, the Eternals, but it was available. And they're definitely have to explain where the fuck they were during all the Avengers events. That's
why I'm really looking. That's the only reason I'm watching this movie is where were you guys?
Yeah, I think it's probably like they lost their memory or something like that. But I don't know. We'll just see. I'm just like, I'm not that intrigued by it, but
would you rather see the Eternals or the new Ant-Man and the Wasp?
I don't know. I don't really care about either.
There's another one.
Yeah, there's a third one coming out.
I think Shang-Chi looks a lot better though. With Ant-Man and Wasp, I think
who knows with COVID and moving the time slate around. I mean, I'm sure you can just
we're getting Shang-Chi, Eternals, and Spider-Man this year at least. So I think next year we'll get Doctor Strange, Black Panther, or maybe that might be 2023. Then we're getting all the Marvel TV shows. We're getting like Hawkeye and I think Miss Marvel later this year. So
don't forget the What If series. That should be good.
Oh yeah, can't wait. That's basically all I got.
That's more than what I have.
Yeah, and it's be a pretty short episode because we start 10 minutes late and we're at 50 minutes. But
I mean, they don't have to all be like an hour long.
No, well, we can at least put it on YouTube now because under 50 minutes. But well, that's it for me. I'm Forrest.
I'm Major.
And I'm Robbie.
I'm Tip.
And I'm purposefully not plugging the email or the Twitter because none of you guys tweeted us or email us.
Well, not now if you're in the,
Damn.
Yeah.
No, it's reverse psychology. Damn it, Forrest. You just messed up the whole trick.
Oh, well, I put it in the description anyway.
Man, now I want to go find out.
Oh, man, that's exactly what you should do. Someone should tweet at us and tell us that they do listen to the podcast.
Oh, brilliant. All right.
We're not. Bye guys.
Everybody.